Yep, correct. Just some cable.
Get some kind of like that. And I mean,
oh, your drivers.
I mean, really, who needs it?
Yeah.
Who needs a disc?
Motherfucker.
I mean, screw the disc. No one uses a disc anymore.
Dick. Fuck! No! What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Tech Universal, our second video.
Oh yeah.
And after our first video, where we did the 980 versus the 1080, I noticed that my computer had a really big problem. So I went out and I made a little investment. I made a little purchase so that we can make just a little, so that we can go ahead and get this thing back up to spec where it should be with today's standards. So Scott, I'm gonna let you do the honors and show everyone what I got. Drum roll.
So of course we got the 1080.
Of course, had to. I mean, you can't build a really good modern day build without a 1080 or a Titan X or something like that. Okay, so next we have our CPU cooler. Now I decided, I didn't actually know about this specific kind of cooler, the H75 Corsair. It's a closed circuit water cooling system. What I really like about this is when I did my research and I was able to see, you don't actually even have to change the water out since it's a closed circuit. So kudos to that, and that's going to be really nice. And I'll review this so you guys can see how this does. So moving on down the line, what do we got?
All right, so we have the Asus Maximus 8 Ranger. So it's essentially the same thing as the one that I've got in my build, except for this one is a little bit better.
Had to be a little bit better.
just a little bit.
There's a little bit.
I mean, I've been jabbing it at him that mine's always better than his. You know.
How the tables have been.
But yeah, it's got some little bit of red accents and stuff like that. But yeah, I like it.
Okay, so moving on to the next part. What do we got? Our i7 Intel 6700K quad-core processor. Each core is clocking in at around 4.0 gigahertz, 4.0. Yep. And my intention with this cooler is that I want to try and clock it up to get about 4.4 to maybe 4.5, something in there.
Because right now mine is overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz, just with regular air cooling. So
yeah, so I mean with this water cooling, I think I should be able to get a couple more hertz out, point hertz out. Alright, next.
Alright, so next we've got the Corsair Vengeance LED RAM.
Yeah.
So this one is really cool. It's actually got LEDs on the top. So you can see the red at the top and it just kind of is...
Had to go fancy. I mean, the 1080 has LEDs, the RAM has LEDs. I'm planning on doing like an LED strip kit all the way around the sides. Probably. Someday I would like to put in maybe a color switch panel. I mean, all of these little... Oops. All of these little parts will pop out, so I'd like to mount like a little switch so I can control the colors and stuff, but that would be later on down the road. But gotta have maximum LEDs in a gaming computer.
So this one has 4, 6, and 16 gigs, so it's a total of 64 gigs, and they're all 3200 megahertz.
Okay, moving on down the line, I didn't really necessarily need to get this. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a tradition. You go buy computer parts, fuck it, throw in an extra drive. So, a little 2 terabyte drive, I mean, that ain't hurt nobody, so. Not needed, but definitely wanted. Alright,
last but not least, we have the Corsair RM1000i power supply. So this is definitely kind of an overkill for this build.
Well, you see, what my idea is I wanted to put another 1080 and maybe even someday put some Titan X's in, dual Titan X or dual 1080s, but...
So you're thinking for future-proofing.
Future, you always gotta think ahead.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so I'm thinking, got all this awesome stuff, we have all this not so awesome stuff. What are we gonna do here? Are we gonna make this happen?
A PC build.
I've got a question. If you'd hear me out in your defense, you never had a chance. And so tell me straight, I won't go. This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake that we are closer than we're far. Embrace for impact, and fight your fears far. Embrace for impact, I'm the future's engineer, and baby I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I've got a question. If you'd hear me out, in your defense, you never had a chance. And so tell me straight, I won't go. This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake that we are closer than we're far. Embrace for impact, fight your fears fire. Embrace for impact, I'm the future's engineer. And baby, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And baby, I'm here, I'm here. I've got a question. If you'd hear me out, in your defense, you never had a chance. And so tell me straight, I won't go. This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake that we are closer than we're far. Embrace for impact, fight your fears fire. Embrace for impact, I'm the future's engineer. And baby, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
Alright, and as we bring this computer build to a final conclusion, I gotta say I'm really impressed by the way that everything turned out. Whether it be from the cable management that I feel is really on point and done a lot nicer than the previous build, to the actual performance of all the components, I am really pleased with the way it turned out. Now, I kind of expected that the 1080 would be just an exceptional card because it's brand new, but I was really impressed that I was able to run Battlefield 1 on ultra settings and still be able to crank out far over 60 FPS. As for the CPU, I gotta say I was able to clock out in the ballpark of where I wanted to. I got to about 4.5 on the 6700K. As I said, I would definitely review it, and I have nothing but positive things to say about it. It keeps it very cool, and it definitely outperformed my previous air cooler, and I definitely highly recommend it if you're going to start overclocking CPUs. Now, in terms of power usage, I don't feel like I'm coming anywhere near the 1000 mark. As we said in the beginning of the video, it was definitely overkill. I believe I'm in the ballpark of around 500 to 600 watts, but I'm not done upgrading this computer just yet. I still have a couple more things that I would like to add in. Someday down the road, I'm going to put in one more 1080, and I also plan on doing an LED kit all the way around the computer with a RGB controller switch right in the front of my computer. So although we're not done upgrading just yet, we're able to see for the most part what the components are going to be like.